Hey. So the question is, do you really want a relationship with God? It's just that simple. Do you really, really want a relationship with God? And the reason why I ask this question is because I get these questions all the time. How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do the other? And I don't think it's about the things that you need to do. I think it's more so about whether or not you're going to continue to do them. In other words, whether or not you're going to cultivate that relationship. It's just like dating someone. Like if you date someone or someone asks you out, you go out with them, you guys have a good time or whatever. You guys communicate, before the date, you communicate after the date, but then after the date, like that's it. Like you don't talk to them anymore. But then like maybe 2 weeks from now, you call them like nothing's ever happened. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like you have to cultivate the relationship. It can't just be like, I just come around whenever I want to, or whenever I remember you, or whenever, like, and I think that's how people are trying to build a relationship with God. When you build a relationship, the relationship there has to be some cultivation every single day, especially if it's something that is totally foreign to you. Like if it's something that you haven't done or you haven't done since childhood, or even in childhood you really didn't have a relationship with God where you felt like God was love, you felt like God was a punisher, like he was going to do something to you if you did something wrong. Your grandma said this, your mama said this, God is going to punish you. All of these things that have been said to us over the years, it's very, very difficult for you to just all of a sudden like flip the script and be like, hey God, what you doing? How's things going? You know what I'm saying? I need you to do this for me, or can you answer this question for me, or whatever. Like there's lots of things that need to happen. And so the reason why I'm constantly talking about morning routines is because it gives you private time, quiet time, early in the morning, when everything is just totally, or should be totally quiet, and no one's bothering you, whether you're a single mom, whether you have a husband, whatever. Like you can actually sneak out of the bed, go into the bathroom, go into the closet, go into the next extra room, go into the basement, or whatever the case may be. And in the very beginning, honestly, 10 minutes is a lot. I'm just going to be honest. 10 minutes to me is a lot for someone for someone who's never done this before. But the point of the matter is it must be done. It must be done. Like I have I have a list of like things that I say every day. Lord, I can't even think right now. Things that I say every day that I want to bring into fruition. Um, and in everyone, like in the very beginning, it says, thank you, Father God, thank you, Spirit, thank you, angels, whatever, right? I'm thanking them. This is just a printout of some affirmations that I had in my email. I printed it out, so I walk around with it every day, and all day long I'm saying these affirmations. Not to say that one doesn't have anything to do with the other. What I'm basically saying is that there has to be some cultivation. There has to be something that you're doing on a daily basis, if not more than once a day. I mean, literally, we're talking about minutes. We're not even talking about several minutes. We're talking about a minute. We're talking about 5 minutes. We're talking about 10 minutes. Like that's it. In the very beginning, I think 1 minute is enough. 1 minute of 1 minute meditation, saying a prayer. I don't have any of my prayers right now, but literally, I mean, Ephesians 3:20, Psalm, the 23rd Psalm. I mean, to me, those are prayers and scriptures throughout the entire Bible. I mean, you could say that, right? So, um, if you just find something simple, and I'm always saying these same scriptures and these same things because this is what got me through. And let me just give you an idea of where it is that I came from, because I don't want to be on YouTube telling people what to do and they don't really know. I have said my story somewhere on my YouTube page. I have said my excuse me. I have said my story somewhere on my YouTube page. But here it is, short and sweet. I, I had my daughter young. I was 20 when I had my daughter. Even previous to that, I would say that I am maybe the black sheep or whatever. I think that's probably familiar to a lot of people that are watching me right now. I think that I attract black sheeps. In other words, I attract people that feel as if they didn't matter, and that idea and that um, feeling came from early on, came from childhood, came from some experience that you had when you were younger, came from your grandma, came from the neighbor, came from somebody, your coach. It came from somebody. Somebody made you feel as if you were not enough. And that is something that has been cultivated kind of sort of throughout your life. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because when you do feel that way, that kind of carries you throughout your life. It carries you throughout your relationships. Your it carries you throughout your relationships, friendships, whatever ships. It carries you like through work, like work relationships. It permeates through you throughout your whole entire life, literally. And so the thing about it is that when you when you don't think of yourself, when you don't have a high regard for yourself, and it might not be like outwardly, because a lot of people that have self-esteem, they act out in different ways, in other words, and not just self-esteem, just not feeling good about yourself, just overall. um, and so it's really unique that a lot of people that I have worked with, a lot of people that I coach, a lot of people that I'm accountability partners for are a black sheep or have been a black sheep of their family. And all of that really means is that, maybe you were misunderstood. Maybe you were the loving one and everyone else in your family was like, what is wrong with her? Like, why is she so happy? You know what I mean? Like, or maybe you just were, whatever it is that you were unique and you were special and you weren't made to feel that way. But I'm telling you now that that's what it is. And that's what it's always going to be when it comes to a black sheep, 9 times out of 10. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be someone who is, maybe doing things wrong as far as like somebody in the family is concerned. But the thing that always kills me about that is like, you're not really concerned about what's wrong with them. You're just gonna like write them off and make them out to be someone that you don't really know whether they are or not, right? Because 9 times out of 10, most of that stuff comes from childhood. Like it starts there and it just builds up. Yeah, because he was like this when he was a child and all. It's like, but he's a child though. Like, are we gonna examine that situation, or are we just gonna like demonize him from like birth? Like, what are we doing here? So anyway, let me stop getting off the subject. So if you are the black sheep or whatever it is that you want to call it, I just want you to know that you matter. And that a lot of the things that people said about you are just not true. They're just not. And a lot of the things that you are going to have to unlearn in order for you to build a relationship with God is that you're okay. And he loves you no matter what. Like he just loves you, period. And when I say he, that's my reference. I just want to say that really quickly. When I say he, that's my reference. That comes from how I learned about God and things of that nature. He, she, whatever, it doesn't matter. Spirit, God, universe, Allah, whatever. The name to me doesn't matter. The pronoun doesn't matter. None of that. But I just want to put that out there. Because I'm just going to keep saying what I say, because I'm not going to change anything that I say to make other people comfortable. If it doesn't make you comfortable, then you can just go on to the next video. So what I'm saying is that there's a lot of unlearning that needs to take place. And so sorry for getting off on the black sheep subject, but I really think that is powerful. There are lots of people that I've coached, and there's lots of people that I talk to that were made to feel less than. And it shows up all the time in their decision making, in their relationships, and all this other stuff. And a lot of it goes all the way back to that. And so, unlearning some things about yourself and unlearning some things about God are what it is that you're going to have to do. Hence, the daily repetition of whatever it is that you're doing. And it doesn't have to be a whole bunch of things in the very beginning. I think I started off with just simply, I don't know how to pray, so let me find a prayer. Because you hear people pray all the time. You go to church, you hear people pray, you hear people pray online, all this other stuff, and you're just like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know what to say. I mean, that's just a real situation. And so for me, the reason why I suggest Ephesians 3:20, when I first started saying it, it didn't resonate with me because it wasn't something that I really kind of sort of understood, because I never really talked to myself in a positive way. You know what I mean? Same thing with Psalm 23, like the 23rd Psalm. Like, it's something, but the more that you repeat it, the more that you read it, the more that you want this relationship, want to cultivate and understand God and the story and everything, like all of the things that he's done, all of the things that he's promised us, all the things that we really do not understand, which is why we don't have a relationship with him. And with the things that are going on in the world right now, we're already in a recession. I mean, it just hasn't been announced, but we're already in a recession. Everybody can clearly see that. Prices are crazy and all of this other stuff. Everyone is going to need a relationship with God if you don't already have one. Everyone, because all of your questions can come from him, not from the news, not from your husband, not from your wife, all this other stuff. Because even in your relationships, there can be friction when you have issues, whether it be money, or you lost your job, or you got into a car accident, or something needs to be done with the whatever and the kids. And like, sometimes you individually, as a man or a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, however it works, need someone to go to. And that might not be like an actual physical person, but God is always there 24/7, 365. He loves you. He wants to hear from you. Whatever it is that you need to know, just ask. Okay. And so I think the reason why I asked the question is because I really wanted to just get in and talk about what you need to do. And that is to practice this on a daily basis. And starting off small, I would say just pray. I don't know, pray for a week, or pray for 2 weeks, or pray for a month, or however long that it takes for you to start believing and feeling that prayer. When you pray, you're not just saying the words. And I think that's what we've been doing. It's kind of sort of what we've been taught to do. It's kind of sort of like saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, you memorize it and you just say it. And a lot of people were like, oh, don't say that, whatever the controversy that was going on. And nobody's really paying attention to the words. And it's the same thing with your prayers. Like, what is Ephesians 3:20? God will do exceedingly abundantly above all that I ask or think. Because I honor him, his blessings will chase me down and overtake me. I will be in the right place at the right time. People will go out of their way to be good to me. I am surrounded by God's favor. This is my declaration. Now, that is amazing. But when you're first starting to pray, you're just like, I don't know if this is true or not, because I don't even really have a relationship with God. I don't really understand. But the more that you say it, constant repetition will bring in the belief, will make you want to go in and like listen to the words and dissect the words and really, even journal out, like, how does that make you feel? Why do you feel that way? This is where you can go and start examining all of the feelings and emotions that you have, which 9 times out of 10 go back to the past, and you deal with them. But as you're dealing with those feelings and those questions and stuff that you have in those difficult moments, you still are building a relationship with God. And that's really what matters. That's what matters at the end of the day. That is what matters, period, point blank, is that you are cultivating a relationship with God. Because I think one of the main reasons why I asked this question is because, are you ready to do the work? Because this is what I'm describing to you is the work. What I'm describing to you is not doing what you've always done and doing something differently. And I'm not telling you to spend an hour or 2 hours, which is, what I do now. But when I first started in the very beginning, it's just something as simple as, doing a prayer, a meditation, writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. Let's call it a day. We're done. Because the more that you do that, the more that you're going to want to do more, the more that you're going to want to learn more, the more that you're going to want to, open up your Bible and maybe read the whole book of Psalms instead of just, or the whole book of Ephesians, or whatever the case may be. Do you understand? Or read a book, or whatever the case may be. And so the more and more you start off small and you add to it, but you've got to do it. And you can't do it whenever you feel like it, because a lot of people want to call on God when things are going bad. But what about when things are good? What about when things are good? What about when things are working out for you? You're still not grateful for those things that were going great in your life? Or is it just that you want to talk to God when things are going bad? Because that's not a relationship. And so I want to say this, and I know this might sound crazy, but it's true. Like, if you don't cultivate the relationship, if you're not checking in, like, come on, like, even in your human relationships, that's not really a real relationship. Like, you can't just come in when you feel like it. I mean, I know some people feel like they can, and maybe that works for you. Maybe you taking advantage of people and treating them however it is that you want to treat them is cool with you, but that's not how you actually cultivate a relationship. You cultivate a relationship on a daily basis normally, right? With dating, whatever it is you want to call it. Normally, you're going to be in contact with that person, even if it's for a couple of minutes, hours, whatever. But it's on a daily basis. It's not like, oh, I'll talk to you. Like, I saw you Saturday. I'll see you next Sunday. Like, and y'all don't talk in between that. Like, that's not cultivating a relationship. So I'm just trying to get you to understand that it's great to want to have a relationship with God. It's amazing. So many people are waking up and trying to figure out who God is, what it is, how to do this, and all this other stuff. And I'm just making it simple and plain. I think I'm all over the place because I was supposed to be telling you about my story. But anyway, I just want to make it simple and plain. There just needs to be something done daily. So I've given formulas over and over again, but I just want to say, if you're just starting out, go to a quiet place for at least 5 to 10 minutes tops. Open up your Bible, open up your phone, go to Ephesians 3:20. Say that prayer. I would say it 3 times, honestly. Then I would find a meditation. Go on your phone, find a meditation, a 1-minute meditation on YouTube, so that you can quiet your mind and get yourself ready for the day. You would be absolutely amazed at how just taking a couple of minutes every single morning will change your entire day. So finding I have some meditations and stuff on my page, but I mean, if they resonate with you, cool. If they don't, then find one. And then I would say writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. And do that until you find that you want more. I mean, I personally, if I was anyone who was looking to build a relationship with God, I would be looking for someone to help me with that. I would. That's what I ended up doing, because I was trying to get stuff for free. I was trying to, follow this person. I was trying to follow that person, the other person. And it's really not helpful. It's helpful if you have someone who's been where you are and who can take you through those steps so that you can build a relationship with God or whatever it is your goal is. That would be my ultimate advice to you. I mean, I am someone who does that on a regular basis. So, so I'm open. I have a couple of slots open. If anyone is open to coaching, mentorship, or accountability partners. Oh, and by the way, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I wanted to say that. Okay, so those are just like three things, right? In the very beginning. And if you're not in the very beginning, if you have an in and out relationship with God, just start over. He's not mad or anything. He's just like, he's just sitting there like waiting for you to come back, right? There's no judgment. There's no judgment. He just wants to be in your life, help, love you, all of those things. But it can't just, it can't be this whole in and out thing because it's not going to work for you. So like, for example, when you go to God and you haven't talked to him in a while, but you're waiting for him to answer you. I mean, I'm just thinking like in a normal relationship with someone, like do you think that you would be able to get like an answer for someone that you haven't talked to and haven't really, like you haven't talked to this person in like, I don't know how long. And then you're calling them and asking them to like save your home or whatever because your house is about to be foreclosed on. I'm just saying, like, you haven't cultivated the relationship. So at the point that things are going bad in your life, now you're checking in. That's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of rude. Like you're just, checking in with me when you feel like it or when it works for you. Not necessarily when it works for me, because for me, meaning if I was God, I would want to talk to you every day. I would want to know how your life is going, how things are going, like, how's school going, how's work going, all these things. You know what I'm saying? How are your kids? This, that, and the other. I would want to know that stuff. And so I really would want to have a relationship with you. But if you just want to have a relationship with me when you feel like it or when things are going bad, like, that's not fun. Because I don't know any of the good things that are going on in your life. I only know the bad things. Does that make sense? And so I just wanted to say that there's work that needs to be done, and the work needs to be done daily. The work needs to be done daily. That's the only way that you are going to cultivate, build, have a relationship, start a relationship, build, whatever the adjective is, with God. And it can literally be simple. I mean, it could be like a 5-minute thing that you do every morning. And that as you go, you build on it. But we're not even going to think about building on it. We just want you to get the basic skills, the basic routine of what it is that you're going to do, which would be your morning routine. Right? You can add to it. Like you can add all kinds of things as time goes on, but prayer, meditation, and journal, prayer, meditation, journaling, reading. You might want to read a scripture in the Bible every day or something like that. Or read some pages in a book, 10 pages in a book that are helpful for you, whether it's personal development or, whatever it is that you're interested in. I mean, these are things that you can cultivate. Like that could be something that you do every morning. So not only are you building a relationship with God, but you're also maybe reading a book a month or reading a book. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like 10 pages, 10 pages, 10 pages, 10 pages, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that you could be adding to your life if you just take a bite-sized part of your day to improve it. And one of the things that I do want to say, and I've said this before, but you are some of the things that you're doing in your life are preventing you from building a relationship with God, because you're taking time out of your life or your day or whatever to cultivate nothing, meaning you're wasting time on this scrolling when you literally could be reading your affirmations, right? Or you literally could be writing down or just remembering what you said at night. You know, what you do in the morning and what you do at night is very important. What you do the last couple of minutes before you go to sleep seeps into your subconscious mind. So if you're watching a scary movie, that's why you have nightmares. If you're watching something negative, something about people are fighting over somebody's man, or someone's a bad bitch, or whatever the case may be, that's what's going into your subconscious mind. Yeah, or if you're just, just seeing crazy stuff, killings and people being murdered and all this other stuff, or whatever the case may be, like that is going into your subconscious mind. That's what's going to be in your mind all night long, which is why you have these crazy thoughts, or why you wake up stressed, or whatever the case may be. But how about you talk about the things that you're grateful for, or listen to something about being grateful before you go to bed, or listen to positive affirmations, or listen to a book that is uplifting and things of that nature, or listen to nature, to sound, to rain, or to a miracle tone or something like that throughout the night that cultivates your subconscious mind, so that or even listening to money affirmations, positive affirmations, things of that nature. All of those things going into your subconscious mind while you're sleeping. It matters what you take into your head, what it is that you take into your head, into your heart. It matters. My pastor used to say that we should not watch horror movies. Like, we should not watch horror movies. We should not watch the news because it's very negative. There were just certain things that she always told us to guard. And I think this is something that my coach used to say all the time: guard your gates. Guard what goes in here. Guard what goes in here. Because those things matter. They travel with you. It's not just like, oh yeah, I saw a scary movie, blah, blah, blah. Right? Or I watched the news and I saw this. I told this story on another video, but I remember at the beginning, I think it was, I can't remember whether the pandemic has started or not, but the issue that we were having with trafficking was big. It was in the news. It was everywhere. And I was, taking my morning walk or whatever the case may be, and literally was paranoid because I was like looking for vans and stuff like that. And I was like, see, this is exactly why I need to stop watching the news. Like, I need to, obviously you need to know like how you need to be safe and things of that nature, but God can bring you safety. God can bring you protection. God can bring you whatever it is that you need. God can bring you certainty that you, your family, whatever is safe. And that's on 100. That's on everything. Like, you do not necessarily have to be, oh, I have to watch the news because I have to know what's going on. Come on now, really? No. And we can agree to disagree. Okay. So if you don't agree, that's fine. I personally just believe and have always been told that you need to guard your gates. And one of those main things that you would be guarding would be your mind. And our mind is 24/7, 365 on overdrive with the news, with the people that we have in our lives that are negative or that are bringing us down or bringing us drama or whatever the case may be. The news is negative 24/7, 365. There's always doom and gloom. There are good things going on in the world every day. Every 5 minutes, something great is happening, but you would never know it if you were to watch the news. And so those things are permeating in your body. I mean, this is why families literally were torn apart during the pandemic, because they were watching the news, fearful as hell, scared to death of their own family members and stuff. And not to say that that bad things did not happen, but I promise you that if we weren't in such a fearful state, half of the things that we were scared about and that we were talking about, which is attracting those things to us. The more that you talk about it, the more that you're attracting that to you. Okay? That is the law of attraction. And so, if we were to just give ourselves a break, to stop it at a certain time of the day, to turn off the TV, watch TV on certain days or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying that you can't watch it at all. But I do think that it needs to be curbed. I mean, I've curbed my social media. There's certain things I don't see anymore. There's certain things that people were posting and all this other stuff or whatever. People are fighting, they're arguing, all that other stuff. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't have time for it because I am trying to stay sane. Literally. I'm trying to stay sane. There's so many things that are happening, and there's so many things that we need to be guarding ourselves from. So, back to, and this all has to do with you building your relationship with God, because I personally feel like it is very hard for you to build your relationship with God if you're constantly listening to negative stuff, if you're constantly being bombarded with negative images and things of that nature. There's plenty of people that have opinions online that have absolutely no business talking about the things that they talk about. None whatsoever. I would not be on here. What one iota, I would not be on here if I did not know what I'm talking about. Period. I just wouldn't. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in talking about things that I don't know. I don't believe in talking about things that I haven't been through myself. So, I just wanted to say that if you really want to build a relationship with God, it takes work. And it doesn't have to be hard, but it does have to be consistent. And so what I'm saying is that if you take 5 minutes out of your day and you do a prayer for a minute, if that even takes that long, you do a meditation for a minute, you write 3 things that you're grateful for, which probably won't take you a minute. It might in the very beginning, because even in the very beginning with gratitude, I had a hard time coming up with things to be grateful for because it wasn't in my realm of thinking. You literally have to shift your mindset, and that's literally what you're doing, which is why the consistency is so important. Why the consistency is so important, because you are making a shift in your life. You're making a shift in your mindset. You're making a shift in how you see things. You're just making a shift. And the shift is not going to be easy if you don't cultivate it and if you don't do it every day. So the question is, do you really want a relationship with God? Because a relationship with God is going to take consistency. It's going to take work. It's going to take you questioning yourself. It's going to take a lot. And I'm inviting you to do it with me, but you can do it by yourself because I'm actually telling you what to do. And I'm making it very simple because I'm not saying, oh, you need to listen to my stuff. No, you can do the same exact thing that I did. I had a coach. I had people that I was following. I had a bishop. But I found what worked for me. It might not necessarily be what my bishop said. It might not necessarily be what my coach said, but whatever it is that I found that resonated with me, whether it was music that I was listening to or miracle tones or, things of that nature, or if it was, even meditation. I found what worked for me and what soothed my mind and helped me to relax, because it was very hard for me to relax when I initially started. I had young children, things of that nature, but it's with consistency, and guarding what you're watching, guarding what you're listening to, guarding who you're around. Who you're around makes a difference. Who's involved in your life and who you're involved in makes a huge difference. The people that you surround yourself with. Sometimes you need, that's why the morning routine is so important, because it's just you and God. It's just you and God. It's nobody else. And it's not really anyone else's business what it is that you and God are doing. You are cultivating a relationship with God, not with other people. So it's whatever is best for you. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I really want those who really want a relationship with God to literally make a commitment that this is what you're going to do, and you're going to do it every day. And if you need help, if you need suggestions, or whatever the case may be, hey, I'm super resourceful, super, super, super duper resourceful. I will help you in any way that you need it. But I just really wanted to come on here and just have like kind of, I know I was all over the place, and I'm sorry, because I can talk my head off when it comes to this stuff, because this is just something that I've been really passionate about for years at this point, because I've done it myself, and I know you can do it. I know you can do it, but there are requirements. And that's the purpose of this video. There are requirements. There are things that you need to do. So please comment, please comment. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Like, is this helpful at all? And do you need any suggestions and things of that nature? I've got plenty of other videos about building a relationship with God, so you can check those out. But you can also reach out to me, or whatever the case may be. But like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to work together, let me know. Leave me a message. There's all kinds of information underneath this video, and even in my about section of my channel, that you can get in contact with me. It's very easy. I'm here. Thank you so much for listening to me. Have a great one.